Welcome back to the California Arm Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Savage Armbenders. We have Spencer Pow Pow, Zach Pow Pow, and yours truly, Jaden Smith. And we're going to get it started off with Spencer.
Yeah, let me just say, we got mics.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. We got some mics. We got different equipment now.
It
took a bit longer to put the episodes back up. We want to keep a consistent weekly basis if we can. And we'll get better on that, but it just took a little bit of time.
I apologize for last week. That was completely on my end. I forgot to export the audio files, so they completely disappeared. That's why there's nothing for last week. And then also, my phone died halfway in. So it was just a whole mess, so we decided to just scrap it. But you know what? It ended up becoming worth it because look at this improvement. Better mics, better cameras, and all of it was actually very budget-friendly, too.
Come on.
So that was really good. But none of this is portable, so that is one of the catches. But either way, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, man. We'll get that weekly content coming out to you guys.
Share, comment also, down below.
Yeah, man. We had to kick that last scrub that was sitting in this chair out. Get a better-looking guy in here, so that's why they called me. I was looking a little too rough on the edges.
Make sure you got that haircut.
Yeah, buddy. So, I don't know. I guess let's just get started with. It's a little bit late now, but when we watched it, it was fire.
It was good.
The Bicep Bash.
Let's get into the bicep.
Yeah, the Bicep Bash
April 15th,
was good.
I think it was like last week or a week and a half ago or so. It was on Tuesday.
It was Tuesday, so it was last week. Because we filmed it like 2 days after. So.
Right. So that was fire. The event was actually way better than I thought. And it's just $9.99, dog. $10
on Triller.
On Triller, yeah, Triller TV. Download the app or go onto the .com, whatever they got,
and it was
go check them out. Arm Sports. Damage, put that bad boy on.
If you've watched any Jake Paul fight, then you have access to it.
Yeah,
let's get right into it, man. Come on.
Yeah, so let's talk about the two California natives, man. One out of Bay Area, NorCal area. Yep. We got Ryan Ballesteros. Then we got
Leroy Walker.
I should know his name. He's in my weight class, though. But yeah, we got Leroy Walker and Ryan Ballesteros. Let's start off with Ryan Ballesteros. The Machine. Dude's a stud, man. He's fighting Jordan the Thrill Sill.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, the match went a lot better than I thought it was. I didn't know what too much to expect. I know how good Jordan Thrill Sill is. And I know personally, physically, I know how strong Ryan Ballesteros is. But I know what I've seen from Jordan, and I'm like, oh, man, this is a big bite to chew, you know what I mean? But I had confidence to know that Ryan's a stud. He's not going in there to be a slappy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's not going in there to be a slappy and to be just somebody's floor mat, you know what I mean?
Nah.
Ryan's a fighter. He's not playing that bull crap. So, first things first, he jumps in there, dives in. I thought personally, I'm like, all right, well, we'll see if Jordan can't just take his hand and cut, boom, get in that position and tear through, and he didn't.
No, he didn't. I was kind of shocked, too, honestly, because I was like, man, this fool Jordan still just beat Ron Bath, like, not even that long ago.
Yeah, the underground.
Recent win. So then going into this, you know, we're already rooting for Ballesteros. Obviously, it's our boy, but man, you know, it's going to be some fireworks. And then when he initially took center, because he took his hand for a quick second.
Yeah, the first 2 rounds were fire, dude.
Past center, dude. We got hyped up. We were all lit up in the shop.
Yeah, no, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, we watched it live. Shout out to Arm TV Arm TV and all Arm Sports.
Ryan had a lot of great energy behind it too. You know, all that yelling, like you could see the passion for the like
he's fired up
coming in. Yeah. You know, like it was a pretty cool moment for him. You know, he's stepping up and trying to push himself even further. It's awesome to see. Actually, pretty inspiring too.
Yeah.
And like, you know, even though he didn't bring home the gold, which we don't put it past, or we don't take it from you, or I don't even know what the phrase I was trying to say.
Get 'em.
I'm bad with phrases. I forget them.
Get 'em.
But it was still great to see Ryan. And like, it's going to be very cool to see how much better you get in time because you're definitely putting in the work.
Yeah, both the Ballesteros brothers, man.
Yeah, he was cracking. He was
Studs.
cracking Sill's wrist. Like Sill's wrist
One
was
bad, yeah. For a second, he had him all that side pressure that Ryan has. He's just a behemoth, though. He's
It's
built like a
dope.
fire hydrant.
It's
dude.
dope
Yeah.
also because, I was just thinking about this the other day. I was like, man, now we're actually seeing younger guys like that are like kind of like around our, pulling
Yeah, our
bars
ages in the mix,
our
man.
ages and,
Yeah.
and whatnot, getting in the mix and actually getting chances and opportunities to get on the screen. Like we're seeing Arson just made it to East versus West. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? An Armenian dude, but now a Cali dude. You know what I mean? And then
I
we
mean, he
just
lives
seen him
here.
not too many months ago. Now, like I said, you see Ballesteros getting his
Yeah.
shot. He's going to, Las Vegas, WrestleMania week, getting some exposure with all those dudes, the Hall of Fame wrestler, you know what I mean? All that stuff. Yeah, dude, it's sick, It's inspiring, though, like you're saying, bro. It's inspiring to see that because it's like, damn, this is what we're all striving for. We're all
Yeah.
trying to get better, but eventually, we all want to make a little moolah and get on that screen,
Yeah, but having Ryan kind of like throwing himself forward and pushing harder, because like I think for somebody like Arson, it kind of makes sense because he moved to the States. He's already somebody willing to take that risk and like push forward and try to
Pretty
become
sure
better
Arson
in
has
the
done
sport.
WAF and stuff. He's experienced. He's
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
experienced.
But like my point being is that like he moved to the States if he was like born in Armenia. I don't know his past, but he lives in California, so he's willing to like go to places to improve and then push to East versus West. But have somebody who is like homegrown and is pushing and
that's what
reaching
we
out
need.
and trying to get on like bigger spots and keep getting better.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool.
Getting on
That's
that
real
platform.
cool.
Jumping
Yeah.
on that platform, man. Somebody got to do it.
Right.
And another mother freaker to do it is Leroy Walker, dog.
Yeah.
Leroy Walker versus Saray Brown. So I thought Big Biscuit was going to do some damage.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that Saray's
Big Biscuit.
Yeah, I forgot that Saray's nickname.
So
is
yeah, I
Big
thought
Biscuit.
Saray was going to do some damage, duty, because I saw him fight Wayne Weathers at the same place that
At the
Still
Underground.
took Ron Bath. Yeah, I saw him fight at the Underground, and he really surprised me. Knowing though, I had an idea because I know he trains now with Brian Shaw, and I know what Brian Shaw, the four-time world's strongest man, could probably bring to the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being a strength trainer yourself, bringing it to our, applying that to our team. I can only imagine what Brian Shaw's little input is.
Oh, dude. Like, without taking anything from Leroy, because he had a really good performance, is that, like, I wouldn't be surprised if just Brian overworked Saray. Because, I mean, like, Brian, he's constantly thinking about how to get better and stronger. So he's probably bringing in more tools, more training methods, pretty frequently, and it's probably taxing a little bit. Even though he knows how to peak, or nobody knows how to peak like Brian knows how to peak, but still,
Well-
you could tell that Saray was still strong.
Saray, I think if I remember correctly, that I seen on social media, I have him as a friend. I saw him comment, and he said that he actually took this match short notice. I think it was Brad Grundy that was supposed to be in this.
So how short notice? Because short notice in arm wrestling is not that big of a deal. It's not like a
Yeah,
fight.
but let's say if it was even 2 weeks notice, or say Brian Shaw they were peaking for something and then getting murdered, just.
Yeah.
So who knows? I don't know how short notice it was, but that's all. I'm not for sure, but I'm pretty sure that I read that comment because I read so much bullcrap on social media. It's like, damn, I gotta retain this information.
Hey,
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on short notice information or short notice. Drop in the comments if you guys even read anything or seen anything. Saray Brown, Saray, if you're watching this, let us know, Blair.
But please correct us if
Leroy Walker, Saray.
Drop that in the comments. But hey, that's not to take anything away from.
No, this was a left-handed match.
I think he's got 2 world records
and bench press and curling, strict curling.
Yeah,
right,
Leroy.
So, he's been
Leroy's
on tear
machine,
recently.
Dude. That's his nickname.
Yeah, his nickname is the Machine. So.
Yeah.
So there's nothing taken away from him. Stud.
Leroy is definitely strong. Definitely strong. I mean,
Leroy's the man in Leroy is one of the up and coming super heavyweights that has a good name and social media behind him.
I think he took the
because we
overalls
got
at
some
Big Bear.
supers. Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, Big Bear. Yeah.
So it's really just he's
Possibly.
kind
I don't
of
remember for sure.
He's kind of carving a
I don't know.
path to just figure out how to apply his strength.
Because Big Bear, I think what's his name? Oh, Big Bear or that Clear Lake, the one that Petruccio was in. I think.
Let's get into
Petruccio got
the.
it. Yo, Saray Brown versus Leroy Walker. Let's finally talk about it. Left-handed match. They're both 1-1. I think it was because I think they met in Arizona State or something like that. Either way, they're both 1-1 versus each other. Now it's 2-1. Leroy Walker put a stop to it, which actually Saray beat him the first round. But I think they restarted it in the case of Saray was like, dude, I'm not feeling that player. Put your elbow back on that pad, man up. And he manned up. He's like, let's do it again. And then just Leroy, he turned the, I don't know, whatever switch gear he hit. He turned his machines on and shit, dude.
They did get into my least favorite move to see, which is the King's move, and they were there for a while.
That's what those big dudes do, man.
But even then, like they were still kind of going a little back and forth. But I was like, man,
that's funny to see, knowing how strong Leroy's bicep is.
Right.
But you know what? I guess when you get in that sticky point with such a strong bicep, you kind of feel good when you're right here.
Yeah.
So
well,
when you're
like
right here.
like from strength backgrounds, we don't really have our strength in the upper bicep to stay close. That takes a while to adapt, depending on your years in arm wrestling.
Right.
And yeah.
So
but
be able to hold all that power.
Yeah, and of course, there's some compensation that can come into it with incorporating that like shoulder like lock. But even then, like if you don't develop that lock like in that midsection or a higher section, like it will get pulled from you.
He's a strict curler. You know what I mean? He's just
They
out.
Yeah, they start from an extended position.
But yeah, watching that though, I get it. We're all like, "Come on, man, get in there, big boy." You know,
You're picking us up, dude.
Yeah.
But that's always how you feel when you see two big gorillas, and you just want to see them collide.
Right.
But they did, just in a different way.
Well,
it was a very entertaining match.
I haven't seen much of their pulling style, but I don't think that they were intending on going there and being like, I'm a King's move this guy. I think it just happened. It just showed how close their strength was.
I think he broke this arm though.
His left arm?
I think so, but he used to be a King's mover like that. Tough. But Leroy,
Saray.
Yeah, comment. Do not come. Yeah. Saray, though, stud. Leroy, though, man. California, stand up, dude. California. Even though he's a SoCal dude, I mean, you represent the same state, you know? So let's go, player. When you go, I think he's from Colorado, right? Training with Brian
Saray?
Shaw. Yeah.
I don't know where he's from.
Well, Brian Shaw lives in Colorado, huh?
Yeah, so he must.
So Saray's in Colorado area. And, dude, that was dope, man, to see them guys go at it, to see two 300-plus dudes. I think it was like over 700 pounds of meat on that table. You know what I mean? I mean, geez Louise, dude. What do you want to do, player?
Just their elbows on the table is like, oh!
Yeah, you see the indents and stuff. I think they had to switch the elbow pads in between matches.
Fix them up.
It was cool, though, because let's kind of glance over it. So Leroy won.
Man. He got the BMF
nice old belt, nice old chain.
Busta Rhymes.
Those chains, dude. Those chains.
Rampage Jackson chain, dude. That was fire.
Yeah, dude. That's a chain I would like to fight for sure. Yeah. Imagine the Savage logo. Dude. This logo right on there, dude. Oh, holding the chains around your neck, dude. That'd be sick.
Fire, dog.
That'd be sick.
That'd be fire, man.
Let's kind of skim over this
So that was a dope match. Let's get into the next one, huh?
Well, because this next one is going to lead into that Brian Shaw match. So let's get into Brandon Allen and Don Underwood.
Hollywood Underwood, dog. So, I mean, what can you say? Too bad of the Baldies.
Well, let's say this. Brandon Allen is getting ready for his match with the world's strongest man, right? So we were saying, like, man, he's got to win
world's
this.
strongest man, Brian Shaw.
4 times.
Bro, they were fighting
4
for the
times.
shiniest chrome dome.
Yeah, dude. Are you kidding me?
Battle
I
of the
don't know who
Balls.
won, dude. Battle of the Balls.
They came in with all the oil. They buffed and polished their scalp.
Yeah, dude. Somebody hit a straight razor before they came through. It was fire, though. To be honest, I didn't know what to expect. I had an idea that Don is going to blast through, hit, boom, try to finish him quick. That's what Hollywood does, makes a show of it. And also had an idea that watching Brendan Allen as a local competitor, I'm like, oh, well, he's a big Kings mover type situation. You know what I mean? He's a big, like, get outside and kind of contain with that same strength mentality. You know what I mean? Kind of like Leroy. These guys just get so strong and they get to that sticky spot. How can you stop it except for rip through it? You know what I mean? And if you can't rip through it, then you just keep doing it. So I had assumed that he was going to get there and do that position versus Don Underwood. And lo and behold, Don thought he had some heat and some mustard for his hot dog, and I guess he just didn't have enough. You know what I mean? He didn't have
No,
enough.
talk about it. So what he got into
Yeah, he got
mid-match.
into a nice little position. Brandon got into a nice position also for a defense,
Right.
move. And Don thought he was Hollywood, and he looked at the crowd and said, "You know what's going down, player. Time to go for a ride." Then the ride stopped. I guess he didn't have the right funds for that bus ticket, Dougie. Brandon Allen put a hit stick to him, man, like a good old 2005 NFL football game. He
Missing
just
them
had
quarters.
his ass, dog.
Do you know anything about Brandon Allen?
I mean, I know that he was a power lifter. Like, where I got confused or in our first episode when we were talking about it was that I was thinking of somebody else. And what's funny is I was actually thinking of the same guy, but when you mentioned the guy that was supposed to pull Brian Shaw, I saw his recent photo where his beard is cut off. Like he just has a handlebar mustache, and I was like, yeah,
That's
I don't really
super
recognize
hard.
that guy. And then I see the pic with him with the long beard, shirtless. I was like, oh, it is the same guy.
That's the dude that kicks ass in his garage.
Yeah,
Heavy ass
yeah.
weights.
And that's where I was like, oh yeah, no, I was thinking of the same guy.
Yeah, that was super cool because that's like new school, old school.
Yeah.
But also old school is on the cusp, dog. When you have the taste of victory and you've tasted that, you want to keep eating victory, right? And you see this young gun, you see him, he looks just like you, young, bald, tatted up,
Maybe
way
a
better
little
mustache,
bit more oil.
way cooler mustache. You get a little mad, dog.
Hey.
You get a little mad, dog. And I guess he didn't get mad enough because new school came in and just...
Yeah, what was it? I think it ended up being, what, 3-0?
I don't even remember, dog. I just remember Brendan Allen doing this thug thizzle, man.
Right.
He just did it. He did his thing.
Yeah.
That was super fire because I thought Don was going to win. But I was hoping that Brendan proved himself because I want to see the best person fight Brian Shaw. That's not too crazy, right? Brendan Allen's a good name, good followings.
How long has he
He's
been pulling?
strong. I want to
He's
say
got
3
a few
years.
years of decent arm wrestling experience. He's pulled some, big guys, like strong dudes. I mean, he's
He
been around.
beat Larry Wheels, dude.
I was
King of
gonna
the
say,
table.
Yeah, Larry Wheels.
Oh,
Shout out to
that's cool.
Brendan Allen and Larry Wheels.
Right.
He showed
Look
that he
who's
was
still arm wrestling.
a better arm wrestler in the strength world.
Yeah, right.
And
How do you think Brandon Allen would favor against somebody like Leonidas?
Oh, I think Leonidas will tear his ass up.
Yeah,
Respectively.
No,
I think
right.
Leonidas is just like the next level up.
Right. Well, I
think
mean,
he's like-
Leonidas is honestly freakishly strong. He's surprisingly balanced for all of his strength.
Is he?
Yeah, like almost.
Funny, I just watched him with that dude that was bench pressing the other day on YouTube. That UK guy. He's all friggin'. He's trying to be the next bench presser under Julius Maddox.
Oh,
Fucking white boy, friggin' white boy. He's from England. Big husky grizzly
You know
bear
his
dog.
you know his name?
Can't
You know what he
remember
looks
off
like?
top. Big white dude from UK. I can't remember his name. He's a big bench presser. You guys probably know. Drop it in the comments, man.
Yeah,
He's a
I don't.
stud, dude.
losing
Even though
me,
I'm a
man.
strength guy, I don't
He's a
follow bench very
Yeah, so
much.
anyways, I was watching Leonidas, and yeah, you're right. His strength everywhere was good, from the bench press to his curling, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But
Like-
yeah, Leonidas is a stud. I don't think. I think it's a little bit different.
Well, it's like when it comes to like balance, like I'm very similarly balanced like Leonidas, but I am half the strength of Leonidas.
Yeah, but you could jump way higher than him. Fool. I've seen this in live person.
I mean, I can jump high, but
This guy has a 43-inch vertical.
I bet you he can jump higher. I bet you. With like, dude, if you can squat
If you're
almost
saying
900 pounds, bro, you.
if you're
jumping
saying
high.
he could jump higher for his height, then
He's
yeah,
the
he
same height
probably
as
agree.
me. He's 6'1".
Well, let's move along.
You're
man.
cut
Let's
off,
move
dude.
along with
Dude's
this next
5'4".
match, dude.
That dude's
not
5'4",
Get back to the
man.
Bicep Bash.
He's so wide he looks 5'4". Either way,
Leonidas is 5'6.5". Let's stick with that. Drop it in the comments if he's shorter. Let's go to the last match, the main event.
Well, the main
Fire.
event, dude, we had a little aspects of WWE in there because we had a WWE.
That was
legend.
WrestleMania.
It was
WrestleMania weekend, so you know what you got to do.
watch out, watch out, watch out!
Hey, you slap a fool in the head with a chair, dog, when he's least expecting it.
Right in the back of the head, man.
Hey, Uncle John Thompson
That's
fought Rick Steiner.
Scott
Scott
Steiner.
Steiner. Big Papa Pump. Holla,
And
if you hear me.
Mid-match, they were pulling. And
First match, they had a match.
Yeah.
A little match, you know. It's WWE-esque.
John got the best of him. So then
John
the
got
next
the
match
best of
comes
him.
around. He had to pull a little WWE Magic out the hat. Had his brother come and smack him in the
Scott
back of the head
wasn't
with a
feeling it,
steel
Blair.
chair.
Big Papa Pump wasn't feeling it. He got in a nasty position. I think he's like, man, this could be a break arm position. Let me double up on the arm. He said, okay, let me double up on the arm. No, this ain't working either. I think he hit him with the double move, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hey, fuck, dude. I'm sorry.
No. He hit him with that double arm just to be like, oh no, I'm not gonna let this go. And then guess what? His buddy came in with a steel chair, you know. And from that, like, dude, after seeing that, I need to find a way to make sure I never lose a match by hiring a guy with a steel chair.
That's what
dude,
they say.
genius. I never
what they
even
say.
thought about it. Never even thought about it.
They
Well,
say if
legally,
you're
all you
gonna,
have to
they
do is
say
sign
if you're
contracts.
losing, they say if the dude's stronger than you, and all else fails, you crack that dude in the back of the head with a steel bat
Yeah, hey.
or steel
so
chair in this instance.
You know, I thought it was dishonorable until I saw it in real life. Once I saw it in real life, I'm all like, oh, dude, wait, that's cinema. That's peak cinema.
It was a fun ending to the event because the event had some sick arm wrestling matches, legit, and it was a dope little ending, little cherry on top. You know what I mean?
Oh,
for the
yeah.
fans.
Very fun. Very
It was
fun.
a fun way to conclude it. You know. But let's move on to the next one. Then we got
What?
some more
We're
California.
done talking about the steel chair shots? I thought we were going to talk about some more.
You can add a little bit more.
No, let's go to the next one, man. So
All right.
we could talk about a few things.
We got a couple
We
California
can talk about.
topics.
You know what? Let's talk about the Cocopah real quick.
Yeah, let's talk about
Let's talk about the Cocopah real quick. That just went down. I want to say last weekend, but I'm so behind because we had done the podcast already and got scrapped up. Weekend ago, 2 weekends ago.
I think it was about 2 weeks.
Yeah,
ago.
roughly. Anyways,
It must have been like
I-
the same time as
it was the weekend before
the Santa Clara one.
the 15th. So maybe it was like
Okay,
the 12th
so it was
or
about
something.
2 weeks ago.
13th, 12th. So, anyways,
It was the day of our that we posted our video. That was late, thanks to me.
hey, look. So check it out. The Cocopah was dope. It wasn't as big as a turnout that I thought it was. Although there was like 6.5 hours of footage, I personally didn't mind it. But I mean, it was good. It was good because I got to skip through and watch through who I was liking to watch. You know, Man, what's that one guy with the mustache?
Oh yeah, Aguz Khan.
Aguz Khan.
Oh, so this
the
time,
number one.
This time he was Khan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was good. He was really good. I can't wait to. I hope he's coming out to North versus South 3.
I don't know.
I'd really like to meet you, dude. Stud.
You
Hey.
can
I
find
like
that.
his charisma, his like how fired up he gets is dope.
Yeah. Well, how tall is Mike Brown? Because we were talking about Mike Brown that one time.
Like Brown's
and,
like 6'6.5" plus 4
and
more.
so
inches.
he didn't seem
No,
like
it's
Aguz didn't seem like he was that much shorter. So he's taller than me.
Oh yeah, they're tall. They're tall dudes.
yeah.
So if you're the same size as Leonidas, everybody's taller than you, guy.
Damn.
5'6.5" sucks, dude.
I mean, how do I argue that against somebody that's taller than me?
Yeah, so that dude's a stud, man. I also watched Chris Owacki, Pull Mighty Wacky.
Wacky.
Dude's a stud, man. He's a stud.
Does he?
He's like,
whack 'em?
honestly, he's probably like the height I think Leonidas is. But, because I see him throw the box under the table. I'm like, damn, every time I see the box under the table, I'm like, I know you're of a certain stature. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
you
know
gotta.
you're
I
probably-
feel like you gotta be around like under 5'10" or something.
Yeah, dwarfish, but whatever. It's pretty stud-like. 'Cause the
Victim
dude's
weight?
a machine, dude. Well, not
No
victim
offense.
weight.
No offense to those
Because he's
studs
a
that are.
stud dog. Dude's a
Yeah.
machine. Anyways, he's fighting these guys, and it's like, oh man, I don't know if you're gonna do it. And then he's just, boom, he gets in there, and he's just mixing it up like you throw a wild badger in the mix or something.
Yeah.
You're just watching stuff get tore up. Fire.
Uh-huh.
Love watching Chris Owacki pull. I think he's like a 185 or so, or
No,
205.
I think he's a 205er. We seen him pull in January at California State.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
fired.
yeah.
I mean,
He's
he's a strong dude. He's an experienced puller.
He's dope.
Yeah, I seen him in there, and him along with Paul Stevens, a couple of those other guys were in there. They've been pulling for a while. It's really strong,
Until you mess with Matt Hughes, man. Then you
Yeah,
mess
well,
around
man,
and
Hughes
find
is on a
out.
different level, man.
Remember that North versus South 2? I think it
That
was.
I think that was the first. Was it 2?
I think it was. I wasn't there. I missed number 2.
So you missed last year's?
Yeah, I did.
Ah.
But next, let's get on to Julius the Predator. I forget his last name. I didn't catch that one. But this dude,
Does he look like?
looks-
Does he have dreads?
yeah, short, black dude. He's built like a freaking tree trunk, dude. He's just
Does he kind of look like Francis Ngannou?
no, dude. He's short.
You don't have to be
no,
tall
he doesn't
to
look
look.
like Francis Ngannou just because he's
He got that like Cameroon face.
no. He just got like his face.
All right.
Let's not get political, man. Jeez,
What? That
Louise.
wasn't even political. What? Whatever.
Hey,
Dude's a
honestly,
stud.
though,
He's hella big, though.
I
He's,
didn't really hear too
I
much
wasn't
about
even
him.
saying he was small.
What I did hear, though, I heard about the Serbian Hammer.
no, let's not skip
Yeah,
past
don't
this
skip-
guy.
don't skip
Let's
the
talk
part
about
I didn't
let's
hear
talk
that
about the
about that,
Predator
man.
some more, man. Julius, let's talk about my dog because we're gonna come out there soon to Arizona and we gotta have a match because I know they got a
Oh, he's
good.
an Arizona guy.
Yeah, he's a stud. I can't. If you're watching this, drop it in the comments, man. Drop it in your comments, the Instagram, the Facebook. I'm gonna follow you.
Yeah,
I like to watch
make sure you share it around so he can see it.
Yeah, I'll definitely drop it in the Utah and Arizona pages if you see it. What's up?
Yeah.
But man, dude's a stud. He beat a lot of asses that I didn't necessarily think he was gonna get right because a lot of those guys had a lot of stature to them.
Well, I mean, like if you already have like a disadvantage lever wise, you end up learning how to pull really strong against people that
right,
have
because you
lever
have to know
advantage.
where to put your elbow on the pad to make that person,
Yeah,
et cetera,
yeah.
et cetera. He did it. He trains with Eric Wolf. Studs. Eric Wolf's doing his thing, man. Out of Arizona, dude's a friggin' machine. He trained with he on YouTube a bunch. You know what I mean? He's
Well,
big puller, big national guy.
oh, okay. I was thinking Derek Wolf.
No, that's what happened last time.
Yeah,
I remember that's what dude's
Yeah.
a machine. No, that's
Yeah.
the wrong guy. I do remember. I know Derek Wolf though. But
Yeah,
yeah,
the
this guy
football
trains,
guy.
and also he trains with last I seen the Siberian Hammer was there.
Yeah.
Let's jump into the Siberian Hammer,
The Serbian Hammer.
Serbian Hammer.
Dude. I
That's
seen
a cool
dude's a
name, by
machine.
the way.
It's a sick old name, bro.
Yeah.
I seen him across Instagram from GregBrownTV was there filming and whatnot.
Shout out to Greg Brown, man.
Yeah,
shout out to Greg Brown for even finding Captain Calves.
Dude.
Captain Cat.
Yeah.
He put together a nice little compilation.
He's the dude with the huge calves.
He's the dude with the crimson calves.
Crimson calves.
Dude's built with
Instead
the
of the
crimson
crimson
calves,
chin, he's got them calves like you do.
Yeah, dog. Imagine Zach's calves if he was a super heavyweight.
So kind of like an Eddie Hall calves.
So pretty much he could kick through a brick wall with his kangaroo kick.
But that's
he
not
would
to
kick his
mention
leg and it would break his knee because there's too much weight on the other side.
this dude's huge though, because his whole upper body is fucking stacked, bro.
I wouldn't say he's huge. He's a big guy. He's a bigger guy. He's not huge.
How tall?
Oh, he's probably like
6'2",
probably like
6'2"?
6'3", maybe 6'2".
So like Spence's height?
No, I'm 6'3".
he's a little
I'm
shorter than
6'3",
Spence.
6'4". This dude's like,
So my height?
6'3", 6'4".
man, he's probably like 6 foot.
Maybe.
I think he's got some cool Jordans on that could give him some height. I don't know. That's what
Bro, those
All
calves are
due
going to be...
respect.
those calves
Regardless,
are gonna
this
be
dude was
breaking
killing
out.
it, bro.
dude was killing it, man. He beat all the super heavyweights, including my
And he
dog
won overalls.
Julius the Predator. He beat his behind convincingly too. I wasn't too surprised because of how many matches Julius pulled. Because he's on the B side, you know what I mean. When you're on the B side, it hits a bit different versus when you're on the A slot. You got a straight path. It's not that easy, but when you're
It's tough
B-side,
on
you
the
pull a lot
B-side.
more matches. But when I saw it, I was like, oh well, Julius is pulling a lot more matches. I don't know if he's gonna pull it out because you know how that goes, kaputs. And I know from watching Rocco the past like two and a half years, I've watched him go to LA and do mediocre, decent, a lot better than other people. And I was like, okay, well, I expected him to do what he did, seeing the other competitors in the super heavyweight class. But to see him do what he did in the overalls
That was sick.
was wacky.
Dude,
Was almost Chris Owacki.
when he got down to Vazgen,
Yeah, Vazkin duty.
I was like, damn, let's see what Vazgen does, because he ran through the first dudes pretty easily.
Vazkin is
Uvaz-
familiar.
Yeah, but
Vazgen is
Vazkin
the
also
Armenian
had
guy.
that.
He's a dude.
He had like a
He's
super
he's
match
probably number
too.
one for
Is-
sure in his weight.
Is he California?
Yeah.
California guy. Yeah.
Oh, that's why I've heard his name.
Yeah. Trains down there with all the Armenian guys. Same group.
Ah.
But dude, he's like their 185 killer. You know,
No,
he might
he's
be
not-
even lighter.
I don't even think he's
165,
165, dude. Yeah, he's a small guy.
dude. But
Oh, yeah. Like, because I was looking at the rankings recently. I think it was like...
He was 150 something at one time.
So he must be like 160s, because I remember it was...
probably
a
walks
lighter
around
one.
160.
oh yeah, that's right. He is
170.
165. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
But,
was
dude,
cool though
thought
because
he
I
was-
didn't
thought
think
he was gonna stop him. Honestly, I thought he was gonna put a little stop in there.
Yeah.
Because if I seen him pull before, I seen him almost fly off the table. How hard he hits. So I was like, dang, let's see
Yeah,
what's
remember
going
that time
on.
he did like a cartwheel? He hit so freaking hard,
Yeah,
dude.
that was crazy.
I watched him in person, fool. He
Bro,
goes
you
like
need-
this, and he put that little man box under him, stood up on that bad boy. He said, "No, sir, it's not victim weight today, brother." Put his elbow on the table and just watch him do a full cartwheel.
Yeah,
fool.
you need a full
and then bounce
padded
right back
room.
up, dude.
Sounds like you need a padded room for that guy.
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes those training, it gets crazy. I've heard some trainings where they train so fast and so hard that they're training their hit. I don't know about him personally, but they're training their hit so hard and so fast that they fly off the table and literally have a mattress set up next to them, just in case.
Well, I kind of got that idea when I was watching Abo pull Ilya. I was
Yeah.
like, dude.
Yeah, that's
Like, Abo was trying to throw himself, like, to the next country.
yeah, that's kind of where I heard.
Yeah, he was just all like, yo, I want to go to Europe.
That's how those European dudes pull, man. All those like foreign cats just hit hard.
Yeah.
But it's cool because honestly, with some, I could see why.
Oh, yeah, no, we could
As of some of the
absolutely...
training that we've been doing as of late, I could see why.
Yeah, we could absolutely integrate stuff like
Yeah,
that.
to
for
apply
sure.
some of those trainings, the adaptation of all that is hidden way different. It makes sense. It makes
Mm-hmm.
sense, but it's good to pull it every way.
Oh yeah, it's good.
I'd rather be good at everything
Got
than
to.
great at one thing, because eventually I'm working on all those things. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That
Unless
one
you're
thing is
Diego
going to get you so
Sanchez.
far. It's only going to, do so many things. You got to,
Right.
you got to evolve your game with everything. That's
Yeah.
how it goes. Whatever
Oh,
you're
yeah.
doing, You got to evolve, you know. And like, even though Vazian's got that hit, even though Serbian was a little tired, dude, he hit right into that hammer, you know, and just got taken down.
Man, so the hammer, dude, he freaking won
dropped
all
the
the
hammer,
overall.
dude.
He dropped the hammer on him, dude.
And what did he win himself? Something.
He won
something
himself
nice.
a full paid trip to, I think it was, and I'm gonna butcher this too. Thank you, Tim Talmadge. Let's drop Arm Sports when we can. Shout out to them for even putting that out there. For the winner of the overalls gets a full paid trip out to Cabo. Some little trip, you know what I mean, on a boat or
Cabo.
whatever.
Yeah, they're
Something like
giving us-
Cabo.
giving us some
maybe,
money.
maybe even
something.
better than Cabo. I don't know, but it was a full like a boat trip. You know,
Bro,
you know, it goes
bro,
you 3
hey.
to 5 day, and you get full paid. You know, whatever.
In my opinion, a full paid like vacation is just as good as some money sometimes. You know, depending on the situation. If you're not in a tight spot and you're like, oh no, I'm good, I'm coasting.
Yeah, if you're
like,
a free spirit,
dude, like having
Jump on it.
like doing something like that just to get like a free vacation. Oh, like, bro, that's savings right there.
100%.
Well,
You
I
know?
want to
And
say they
experience
gave some
sometime,
money
like-
out too. I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm not 100% sure, but I seen on the flyer
no, there was.
Well,
I think there was over
we're probably
$6,500
And cash prizes and
cash
awards.
prizes and awards.
Yeah, probably
for that tournament. That's pretty good.
That makes sense. And then the overall was the trip.
right. 'cause
Right,
That's only
right,
one
right,
person
right.
getting it. You
Right,
got to
right,
be
right.
the overall winner.
Hopefully he was able to.
I don't
take
know
his
if they pulled
wife,
left hand
you know?
overalls,
Well, that's the thing. Is like,
but for sure I
Kenny
watched
Hughes,
right-handed.
at Kenny Hughes' memorial tournament at Patterson. Shout out to that. That's coming up soon. What day?
May 31st.
May
I think it is.
31st.
I'm pretty sure.
What are the rewards?
last
for
weekend
that
of
one?
May.
Well, I'm not sure, but at that one, the usual overall for right-handed is usually a sick trophy. I know for Kenny
Two
Hughes,
sick ass trophies.
well, for Kenny's
sick
that
trophies.
year specifically, it was a fat. I think it was a bald eagle.
There was one. The first one.
It
Rest in
was
peace.
huge.
Kenny
Fat
Hughes.
eagle, a
It was
little
fat
bloated.
bald eagle with his wings spread.
No, yeah.
spread out.
That was the
Oh.
first one for the Kenny Hughes.
That's when they
memorial. That
renamed
was
the Patterson
yeah.
tournament, and Aaron Blevins won that one. Shout out to
Aaron
AB.
Blevins. Shout out to AB out of
Yeah.
Arizona right now.
Yep.
Shout out my dog Aaron Blevins.
He
dog.
took that trophy home and he brought it back to the Armbenders garage.
Yeah, to
Ooh.
the home of Kenny Hughes. Rest
Right,
in peace.
respectfully.
Hey.
Armbenders, California
That's
Armbenders,
kind of-
the number
that's-
one California team in California ever.
Bringing it home, that's poetic. you
For
know?
now. For now,
Well,
at least.
well, I mean, like, of
Savages
course,
are right behind him.
well, of course, he won it. He's able to do what he wants with the trophy, but bringing it back to like what
the motherland.
to the roots, you know,
Yeah.
that's poetic.
A stand up.
Yeah,
That's what a real American would do.
yeah, especially
that's
with
just
the
what
eagle.
a real man would do. You know what I mean?
No, an
Yeah,
American.
not
man would
always. Not always. Doesn't
Ameri-
make you a man to like
America's culture different.
give
dog.
away your trophy.
No, but knowing the
America's culture
circumstances, it was different. It was different because Tom really wanted it. So you obviously know there's a lot of emotions and stuff
Tom
behind
was
that.
fired up,
and
dude.
AB
He
is
almost
also
killed Israel.
was a part of like grinding out with the armbenders, and he knew there was a lot of meaning behind that. So obviously anybody could have been like, I'm taking this home, but yeah, to do that, it's like
It's poetic.
like I could take this home, but it means more to
Yeah,
more
no.
people as a whole.
That has its own story behind it.
Yeah. So
Sure.
honestly, we should just get straight into some more California topics, dude.
Let's take a break
Yeah.
real quick. I'm gonna go take a piss, dude. Let's see, and then we'll
Whoa.
get into the CSA.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give me a sec. All right, sorry about that break, but we were just taking a piss. So it worked out that Spencer had to go because we all took advantage of that situation and made sure that we didn't have another break again.
I had to take me a little piss.
But we left off talking about Patterson, but we are transitioning into CSA.
yeah, so let's talk about a little bit of CSA, huh?
So what does CSA stand for?
It's a little mix. It's called CSA, California State Arm Wrestling.
Uh-huh.
It used to be the page. It used to be called NorCal Arm Wrestling, I think it was, by Matt Silva, or Bay Area, something like that.
Wait, Matt Silva was the host of it?
Yeah, Matt,
Is he still the host?
Matt the Vanilla Gorilla Silva?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Same guy with the YouTube channel, right?
I don't know if he has YouTube, but he for sure he does have YouTube.
Yeah.
All
He has
all right,
YouTube,
So
he
it
has
is the same
Facebook,
Matt that I know.
Instagram.
He likes the top roll?
He likes to put those videos with his
Puts out
underwear on.
instructional videos a lot.
Yeah, all right. I am thinking of the same guy. I
Yeah,
am
those
thinking of the same
very deep thought processed in.
Yeah,
Well, let's get into it, man. Because he started a new. Well, he didn't start a new page. He renamed the page, and what this is now is what we're trying to make the new California arm wrestling page, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, because
you're talking about the rankings, right?
Something.
Well, not only the rankings, I know they posted the updated rankings on there, and I also know that Santino updated it with a nice, juicy post full of all the nice tournaments coming up with the prizes, all the practices,
Tournaments,
challenge matches,
practices, super mega practices.
It's beautiful having something lined out like that. That's perfect.
Dude,
you
it's
know?
all punctual. It's got dates, times, all that, and I think
Contact
they're even talking
information.
about, putting
Contact
together
info.
another post with, I think it's practices and wherever everybody's meeting to practice, and they're going to do contacts and.
They've
Wow,
already done
that's
that.
extensive.
Santino's already done that. Is every team added on there yet? No, but that's on us as California residents and leaders of our teams, or even group members, to bring up to your leader of your team. And leader, I mean just, I guess the person that's started or whatever, captain of your team, whatever you want to call them.
Right. 'cause
Right.
The
Just
goal,
to be, or the person that wants to be the contact.
The
You
goal
know what I
is-
mean? It don't have to be the leader, but
Yeah, as
trying
long
to-
as they're consistent.
we're trying to get all the people, just because if you want to be able to learn how to arm wrestle, you want to join it, or you don't know who to contact, you want to see if there's somebody in your area, this is what we're going to do. But this is what they're doing, we're all doing, to make it easier for everybody.
look,
Oh, yeah.
man, it was 4.5 years ago when I started. It was so hard to find anything, dude. I remember watching UAL on YouTube, and I'm watching Vince or watching all the arm wrestlers pull in the UAL back in the day, and I'm like, whoa, who is this? Chris Chandler, dude's ripped up cheerleader. You got
What are you talking about?
Michael
Ripped up
Petr-
cheerleader.
You got Petruccio with a mustache. He's like a 400-pound gorilla. He was a ripped cheerleader, dude.
I
Just
don't get what you
huge. He's
mean.
huge. He looked like Leonidas, but he went to college to be a cheerleader, like the dude that flips broads.
Oh, yeah.
Dude was a stud. He looked like a gorilla. Like
Oh, those guys are stronger than you think.
Oh, no.
They got to toss people
you
all
got
the
to
time.
toss a human being over. Yeah, no, for real. I know
all
that.
the time.
So just watching those dudes, watching them pull, I'm like, man, how do you even? What the hell? I remember pulling dudes at lunch tables and stuff like, oh yeah, or you're at your football practice or lacrosse practice, or whatever you played, whatever you guys played, and you're like, yeah, I used to beat ass, and then you're like, what? They have tables?
Wait,
Where's the ladders and chairs? I'm just playing. You got to go to Arm Bash for that one, Bicep Bash. But yeah, you're just watching these people, and you're like, how do I get into this? How do I find this? What do I even do?
And one of the things about California is, like, we're not like a big state like Texas, even though we're a big state. We are a long state,
Yeah.
And
The
so like,
direction of
so it's
travel
like
is different.
yeah. So
East, west, north, south. It's different.
Yeah, because if you want to go to a tournament that's happening like in Sacramento, if you're over in like even
Rancho
Santa
Cucamonga.
Barbara, like you got to travel about like 7-8 hours or something, depending on traffic. It could be shorter.
Yeah.
But and then what if there's something over in Red Bluff, or like if it even goes higher,
Santa
like
Clara. Oh, you're talking about NorCal.
yeah, like if you go north, like I mean, Eureka ends up becoming the limit,
Right,
but
right.
like south-wise, like there's quite a bit of tournaments that happen south,
so
but
many.
I mean, thanks to Jody, we're having a lot more often happen north, and hopefully it draws
Yeah,
in.
shout out to Jody Smith, man. doing his thing.
Yeah.
Also, Jody, put some dinero on those prize, the top 3 to win, man.
It'll take
put
time.
some dinero on that bad boy.
I believe it'll take time,
Oh,
but
no, for sure, but
yeah.
put some money on that bad
Yeah.
boy, dog.
I mean, I bet you he's probably thinking it too.
Oh, for sure he
you know,
is. Oh, for
it's
sure.
just like he's
Jody's a good, kind-hearted dude. He's really for the sport. But also, if I could just twist his wrist, put some dollars on that.
yeah.
You might
yeah.
get some more heads. I don't know. You might get
Oh,
some
you
more
would
heads.
absolutely
You
get
got
more
them.
heads.
Yeah, you got the guys that don't want to come out because they don't want to pay the gas money, and they don't want to pay the entry fee. They don't want to, because they know, well, I might dog walk these fools, and you might not.
Uh-huh.
But in the back of your head, if you know you got a dollar amount you could possibly win to pay for said entry fee, and it's like, all right, cool. Now I just paid for my gas to party with my homeboys and my brothers in arms, literally.
Yeah, no, I mean,
don't know.
But
Shoot.
that's a good reason why we're doing this page, man. Because if
Right,
all
we
of
gotta put the notice
California
out. We gotta put the
supports the
notice out.
page, then what we're gonna have is a big page full of tournaments that we know where we want to go. Oh, this tournament's gonna be paying out this much. This one's paying out. This one's not paying out. I might pass up on this one. Keep training, and go to this one with a big.
For the more
cash
heavy
money.
pullers, this is going to be, CSA is going to be the new thing for everybody. The amateur puller to the rookie puller to the puller that thinks they're getting a bit more and want to test themselves. And then the elite puller in California that's like,
yeah, and then hey, Matt or whoever has access to the account, if you're posting anything that is Northern California or Southern California, put it in big bold letters right in the front of your caption, like Northern California, Southern California. So then it makes it easier when we're scrolling, because sometimes we just don't have the time to read everything. Put it right there up in the front, you know. But I love the idea of having just a unified space where we can just quickly grasp some things, because we could still follow the accounts that will post updates and stuff, and that's where you can have your little people, or just your people keeping up little updates and being like, oh, I hear this person's coming here, this person that, you know. And having that is great, especially on those individual channels, but we do want something that's easy to find. You know, easy to find, because we're arm wrestlers. We kind of are busy in our lives. It's not easy to research a lot of stuff.
no, I don't. Well, yeah, 4.5 years ago was stupid hard. I can only imagine prior to that, way harder. 2025, if you have a social media, if you have a Facebook, you go to CSA and you find yourself a local practice. It's really as simple as that now.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. You get in a few contacts, you go to that practice, you might find another local practice closer to your area if you go to a practice that's open. And you might find yourself in a predicament where, oh, what? That guy practices out here? Well, let me get in contact with said gentleman. And it just helps you a bit better, you know what I mean? Because that's what happened with us, you know. We found people and we're like, oh, well, you live in this area? What the heck?
Right.
What the hell?
We could get into our origin story of.
No, we'll
how
do that
we
another
did
day. But I'm just saying that's what happened.
We'll get into that another day.
We
We'll
came
do that,
into
we'll
this
do that
meeting-
when Kyle comes here
Right,
next
me
week.
and Zach, we came out to Ryan Ballesteros practice, 4 years ago? Sometime
Maybe
like
even
that?
longer. It's been a while.
Man, you
No,
guys
it
been
wasn't that
pulling
long.
that long?
About 4.5.
Well,
It was about 4.5.
We won't get into it too much, but a little sneak peek. We just kind of we tested it out. He tested it out and he brought me along. Right, and then I was like, yeah,
I didn't
sure, I'll
test
go.
it. Zach tested it too, because
I'll go
if
with
he's
you.
coming
I'll
with
check
me,
it out.
you're
Well,
jumping
I mean,
in that
if
water,
he's there,
dog.
of course he's testing
Right,
it.
exactly.
But
So-
without you, he wouldn't have made his ass
But
out
it was
there.
a whole
Facts,
thing
facts.
man, it was pretty crazy. I guess we'll spoil a little.
But
bit
you know,
of it.
little bro got to come with big
Ballesteros
bro,
were there.
man.
All the
Come on,
Ballesteros
bro.
were there.
Randy
A little-
Ballesteros. Shout out to
Yeah,
Randy, dog.
a strong
little Randy.
strong guy named I don't know if you know him. His name's Anderson Oliveira. Yeah, he was there too.
Yeah. No,
And
my
and
first
so
my
we
first
didn't
stop
open
arm
tournament,
wrestling,
I
dog.
pulled him. He was my first pull.
I had no
Broke my
idea
bicep.
who these guys were, and then just going
Stop
there.
arm wrestling for half a year.
Dude,
dude.
it was-
he
I don't wanna
strained
do
it.
this shit.
It was insane, bro, because these dudes are so strong, and it was hella inspiring. And everybody there was just welcome and like, hey,
Oh,
what
yeah.
are you doing? Watching? Man, get over here.
Shout out
So-
Cody Mana. Shout
You
out
know, but-
Robbie. Rob Wintello. Shout out to all the dudes that were really there and really putting an investment in time to even talk to us.
Right.
Because
Well,
we were two friggin' kids out of Madera or Yuba City coming over to, I think it was Vacaville. I think it was Vacaville
Vacaville.
still.
but what I was trying to
But
say
yeah,
though
two
is
studs and they
we
accepted
just
us,
did
man.
that just to try it out. Like we were curious, you know, and then we basically went through with the practice and we stayed for a few hours, and then after that, I think, well, me personally,
Man, we did a king of the
I-
table,
I
dog.
didn't,
Let's just talk about this real quick. I'll
No,
spoil it. You're going to talk about it?
No. We will get into
He's
it.
in the
We'll get
flow.
into it another day.
He's in
Oh,
the
it's just
uh,
going to be fun, though. But go ahead.
But you know, basically that was just our little first, get together of actually trying to test it out. Besides,
Our first little dabble into arm
pulling on a
wrestling.
lunch table or pulling at the kitchen table.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Let me just
yeah,
beat
that
up
was our
on
first
Zach.
time, and we only did it. And then I personally took like a year break or.
Yeah, we
I
did.
didn't really know much
okay,
about
okay.
it. I didn't know
So
who
I
to
wouldn't-
message or anything, you know?
So
'cause
I
I
wouldn't
got
say
hurt.
you guys have been pulling for 4 years.
Dude,
you know.
after the first time I ever pulled like this, it was like we did the King of the Table. I didn't know what the hell this was, but it's everybody just pulling each other. I won't get into details. We'll talk about this later. I guess it's funny.
Yeah, it's like
or we
King
can
of,
just talk about it
Well,
right
you
now
gonna
because
keep
it's
bringing
funny.
it up? You might as well
No,
talk about
it's
it.
like
bro.
Yeah, so
it's like
this is
King of the
like-
Hill.
come
It's like
on,
King
man.
of the Hill, but
So
with a
we'll
table.
get into it
You know,
another day. We'll
it's
talk
simple.
about. Maybe we'll talk
you
about
might
it
as
when
well talk
Ryan,
about it
when
right
Ryan
now,
and
dog.
Robbie come by one day, which you guys will, and we'll have the roundtable talk just for fun. Because man,
All right.
That'd be
I
awesome.
got my
I'd
ass
love
beat
to
by
pull.
these dudes.
I'd
dude.
love to pull
And I was-
Ryan again.
Dude, you got to understand, I'm like 315 at this time, 320, but I'm a lot.
Bro, you were
This
bigger.
dude had a ponytail.
I had a ponytail. I was a
You
lot
had a
heavier, dog.
ponytail?
Yeah, so I was a lot
This is
heavier.
crazy.
But I felt like I was a gorilla, and I was like, and I got humbled.
Oh, at 300 pounds, yeah.
Yeah, different angles, I could do some shit.
Well, you
stuff,
just have
but,
more body weight to work with.
Yeah, so man, you go
Getting out
and you
of
get
bed,
humbled,
put
dude.
more workout.
Anderson Oliveira,
Yeah, no, he hits fast. He hits really fast and hard.
dude.
Hey, but this
Not
was
even
like
that,
years
he's
ago, man. This is when we first met him. Didn't know nothing of him, and
Was this before he moved to Cali?
No, it's when he moved
this,
to Cali.
yeah, this
I
one-
have no idea how long he lived.
I don't know
here.
how long he was in Cali at the time, but no, he was in Cali, and they were saying that he was pulled from Brazil, or I think where he was from.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
that's what I've heard.
Dude, like he clean shot, but then Ballesteros showed up, and
Till
then,
Ryan came.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Hey, wait till the champ comes," And
He said,
the
"Hey,
champ, lo and
King
behold,
Ryan's here,
Ryan
brother."
Ballesteros, who just made his debut at the Bicep Bash, was there.
No, not a
yeah.
debut, but yeah.
Well, he made his debut on the main stage on a pay per view. I can't say
Pay-per-view,
if that's
yeah,
his,
yeah,
but I
but
think
he's
that
been
was
doing
a-
his thing.
Oh
He's
no,
been
for
doing his
sure.
thing.
But pay per view is different when you're actually watching somebody with nice production.
Oh,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like that's a lot different.
Yeah.
At that point, you could be like,
And you're fighting an elite caliber
Hey,
opponent,
you
know what I
know,
mean?
you
Or
make
at
it-
least North American elite.
"Oh yeah."
He
Jordan
may
Sill?
not be like worldwide elite, but he's right there, and he's for sure nationals.
Dude, he's right there at that elite level. That's what he was just telling me, and that's what I seen.
That's
You know
what Jordan
I mean?
Sill told you.
No, that's what Ryan Ballesteros told me. I didn't talk to Jordan Sill, dog.
Hey, just because like arm wrestling,
it.
arm wrestling again is a subtle sport. It's a game of ounces, not pounds. And so like even though like Still is able to sit there, like doesn't mean that he was fighting at 70%. He was probably definitely fighting over 90.
Right.
You
That
know?
was fire. That match was fire, dog. I didn't even
Nobody-
think, I didn't
nobody-
think Ryan was gonna do that.
Like people
That was really good.
Yeah,
That was
people
really good.
showboat, but when you really are trying to showboat, they're probably closer than you think. If they're not that close, then you're
Unless you're Don
then-
Underwood.
Well, Dude,
Unless you're Don Underwood, dog. Then I mean,
unless you're like, because I mean, I've noticed this when it comes to a lot of strong people. When they're pulling somebody and they feel like they're not very close, they tend to kind of be more like soft about their approach. If somebody is really close, they tend to be like a little bit harder about like showmanship, you know.
right.
And I mean, it only makes sense. You kind of want to, or somebody that's threatening you kind of want to break their enthusiasm a little bit.
Yeah, man. So the CSA though,
Yeah.
CSA, follow the page, California.
Yeah, if you made it here this long, you might as well drop a like on the video
on, man.
and go
California.
follow the California State Arm Wrestling page.
CSA.
around.
Yeah, drop a share, man. If you really even care about California arm wrestling or arm wrestling at all, drop that share, dude.
And we've got
'Cause we'll
one
find you.
more final topic.
Well, technically, we have two because I have one I want to talk about.
Well, Jaden's got one that he wants to talk about, but we've got one more California topic. Let's get into
What is
it.
that?
What's the other California
just
one?
That's going to be
It's, North versus South 3,
South
man.
3, and
Hold up.
we've
Did-
got a,
Oh.
we finally got the lineup. And the card's looking decent. Let's get into it.
Well, since we're talking about this is a super match format, right?
It's challenge match format.
That's what I wanted to get into.
Little segue.
From what I'm reading in all of this is super matches, right? And we all can agree or disagree what a super match is. I'd actually like to get into that a bit more. I want to talk to you guys about what I consider what a challenge match and a super match is. Because I hear a lot about super matches. I personally have a different outtake on said thing. Because I feel like it's too open to where everybody just feels like, let's have a super match. A super match. My criteria of a super match is rankings and or popularity.
Yeah.
And or dinero.
That's fair.
If I drop 500 on a match, that's pretty super.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because your opponent's dropping
pretty super.
5, so that's instantly a
So
$1,000 match.
Yeah, so
that's pretty super.
That's a big
but
deal.
if you got Joe Schmo, possibly ranked, possibly not ranked, you're at the top. You know, well, I don't even know. If you're not even in the top 15, then if you're just like one of your better known guys in your neighborhood, and you're fighting one of the better known guys in their neighborhood, are we considering these super matches, or are these just local matches that are really cool?
Yeah.
So
but not really ranked or paid matches.
So
what,
I do.
What do we consider super matches? And
I do
and
kind of get
challenge
what you're
matches?
getting at. Like, I view a super match as it should be a higher round style. So, like, you have your, there's always the main event. The main event is always going to be the biggest draw. And I think it's dumb if it's... Where are you going? And that will be either, the higher match. Or not match, the highest rounds. So best of 7, not a best of 5, because a best of 5 is going to be whoever wins 3 times. That's going to be the, or no, actually.
It's like UFC, a regular match and a championship match.
Yeah.
The 3 rounds, the 5 rounds.
So I'm
versus East versus West.
So I was getting a little mixed up because I was thinking about like a King of the Table in East versus West, where it's like a best of 7 for the main events and the co-mains, but.
Championship, I'm sorry.
So in a local setting, which is us, is going to be a best of like a
2 to 5,
6.
3 to 5,
or best of 5, yeah. And I think a super match is whatever brings out that best of 5, even if it's not a main event or a co-main. A challenge match is whatever is called on the day, because if you don't have that separation, it doesn't draw enough attention. Because essentially, a viewer is going to be watching it, and they're going to be thinking that every match was planned, except a tournament. And even then, a tournament is planned. But if it has like blazoned on it, challenge match, then it's like that was called on the day. That's an interesting match, because the person that calls it, they were obviously prepared. The person that accepts it, they believe they were prepared, or they are prepared. And I think that's a good separation.
So if you're unranked and you have a match not challenged like within that week, is that a super match?
Well, here's my take. Here's my take on the whole thing. I kind of came in, and when I heard the term super match, personally, I thought it was a little corny, because I only knew the super matches being set up were local guys that were amateurs. And, when it's something like that, I was like, I mean, there's nothing really super about it. When Spencer brought up the term challenge match, I'm like, that's a little more fitting. When something like Devin Larratt pulling Levon, that's a super match. When I heard super match for that, I was like, that makes sense. These are 2 supers. They're going to go crazy. So,
but then there were 3 criterias for that match. One of them on both ends was popularity. Another one was they were the main event. Another one was that these are the strongest competitors and that their highest ranks.
Mm-hmm.
And Devin Larratt was also challenging.
Right, and that's one of the big things. Personally, what I thought was, what also made it super was the experience. Because Devin Larratt is a legendary puller in the game. Levon Saganashvili is the strongest in the world right now. So, these guys are super. You know what I mean? Not only are they the top of the caliber, the top of their weight class, but they're super. So that makes sense for you to call it super. East versus West, anybody that's going there is super. Everybody there's the top of the
I don't
top.
think that's what we're talking about. I didn't have...
Yeah, but I'm
That's
saying
not what I was
that
talking about.
I feel like those you can consider super matches.
Yeah, those
Challenge matches would be more of lower level, right? If you're challenging this person personally, you're putting some money on the line. Maybe it's not something so big, but when it becomes a certain caliber, when you have enough, pull in the community, when you have enough experience, when you're ranked higher, when you're, it's not a super match until you've met the criteria. That's what I feel like personally.
Drop it in the chat, man.
Yeah, no.
Drop it in the chat.
Put your opinions
Drop
in
it
the
in the
chat.
chat.
What you think the difference in criteria is for it.
Yeah, because I feel...
Because, what I was thinking is it doesn't take away anything what you're explaining. Is just that, a super match is essentially what makes, or, you have the criteria of those three, and you have the criteria of these guys were working over about 3 months, over 3 months to accomplish this task. It creates the biggest draw. Of all arm wrestling fans, or actually, it's going to create the most draw of the least amount of arm wrestling fans because it just has more draw. And who knows? Maybe I'm sounding a little lost, but I hope that you get what I'm trying to say.
No, I just think we got a little. Maybe I'm lost, but I was thinking something different from. I wasn't even getting the East versus West. That's super matches. Those are super matches. I was talking more local based, like state by state.
Right.
More.
Well, yeah, but we have
'cause it-
local based guys that are now going East versus West, so that's why I say
Yeah, but, but I'm talking about us top three though. You're talking about Arson.
but
Arson
that's one of
would
the
be a super match
criterias.
versus a I'm saying California, or say top three versus top three of Utah, California, or
Right.
somewhere out there.
you're
So if you're talking about that, that's way. Those are pay per view guys.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. I was asking, what do people consider besides the East versus West basis? Besides the people going to East versus West, besides the guys going to King of the Table or Knuckles Up, those are super matches. Those are on a
I think
pay per view. Those are super matches. I mean more of the basis of North versus South. What do we consider super matches? Are all of the matches on North versus South super matches?
I
don't know anybody ranked top three.
I almost
North
think
versus South
that
right now.
I almost think that a super match should be a replacement term for a barn burner. Like in UFC, if you've got these big names that are just going for war, they're a barn burner. They're always going to be looking for, or if the promotion, they're going to be looking for putting them at they're going to be putting them at more than 3 rounds, about 5 rounds. And you want those to be categorized as super matches when it comes to looking at arm wrestling. So local is going to be best of 3 or even best of 5 if you consider a tournament, because there was one win and then it becomes a best of 3 at the end. But when it comes to a super match, instead of a best of 3, it should be, or a best of 5, it should become a best of 7 to a best of 5,
So here's my idea. Let's say Tom Nelson's ranked, 2, 3 right-handed right now? Or top 3 right-handed, right? So if I was to challenge him being a top 10 guy, do I feel like it's a super match or a challenge match? For Tom Nelson, I feel like it's a challenge match.
Do you have more, or in my opinion...
Being in the sense of I have less a caliber, but I'm not top 3.
In my
this
opinion,
is a challenge match because I'm challenging you to take yours.
So in my
That's a challenge
opinion,
match. Even though I'm top 10.
In my opinion, are you pulling him a best of 3 or best of 3 or best of 5?
It don't matter if I'm pulling him
So-
1 or 2 times. I'm saying if I challenge you at my ranking, because I'm not like Knuckles Up, they're not calling me or they're not calling us for that match. It's still a challenge match,
Right.
and I'm not like Ilya or Derek Smith or Tom calling Derek Smith or them out. So that's how I feel. I'm not.
In my opinion,
Super, you have to be a caliber.
right.
puller.
Well, in my opinion, I'm almost looking at it as a way to describe the difference between this match and another. Is the match going to be longer than other matches, then I will look at that as super. If it's going to be like the average length, then I'm just going to be like, all right, maybe put it as like the most interested or most watched or predicted most watched, whatever. You know, that's how I'm looking at it. I guess
Personally,
that would have
dude,
been better.
I think Engen did it the best when he did the Challenger match series. Because these are guys that are not all number 1, number 2, number 3. Some of these guys might be.
Hey man, hold up.
All right, I made sure to cut out all that because we just kept talking, and it was kind of getting nowhere at that point.
We're going to save it for another day.
Yeah, we'll save it for another day. But we are talking about now King of the Table, right?
No.
North or south.
Yeah, actually.
That's my bad.
Drop
That's
some
my
comments what you think of the little combo. But
Yeah,
we really wanted to get into North versus South 3 because they just dropped the matches. The list.
A few of them.
All right,
A few of them by 20.
Let's try to make sure we're not starting at the top again.
Let's just talk about a few that are mainly like eyeballers,
Let's get into it.
right? Eyeballers. Let's talk about one that I really like personally. I know you might not know too much, Zach. You know something about something.
I definitely
Because
don't.
this dude's name rhymes with your name. And
Zach?
it goes by Zacatropes. Kind of rhymes with Zachary Popo.
Yeah.
Zacatropes versus Enos.
Oh, shoot.
Enos, I'm not going to say your nickname until I see you, brother, but Enos.
What's his nickname?
Well, no. His name is Enos.
His name's Enos. What
But,
rhymes with Enos?
Uranus?
Uranus, yes. Yeah, so we got Zacatropes versus Enos.
We can start with the penis.
Or we can. What's the difference between us? Hey, Zacatropes, what's the difference between us?
Sorry,
Well, we can
man.
start at the penis.
I had to. It's too easy, bro.
All right, man. Zacatropes versus Enos the
With that being said, man,
Enos the Enos.
let's go, Enos.
Let's go, Enos, dog. Enos, you're a stud, dude. Enos,
Yeah,
you
hey,
might not like it,
No joke, bro. This
But you're
dude's hella
strong. He's strong.
Bro.
Enos-
Hella strong.
dude.
He's an upcoming. You know what I mean?
He's almost. He gets really hard. Enos gets really hard. He's really tough puller.
Oh, I bet.
Pause.
Balls. Enos is a good puller, man. He's a stud, dog. One of my even all the jokes aside,
Yeah,
I cannot wait to see him pull because I think he is way underrated.
he was at a slaughterhouse, right?
He won that slaughterhouse. He was at the that other event that Kane put on though. Shout out to Kane Fontecchio.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we drop the slaughterhouse because I think we did all that for the last podcast, but didn't drop the links. And
Yeah.
stuff.
No, I dropped them.
let's
They
make
just
sure-
I dropped them. They just weren't
Fire
clickable.
matches. Shout out to Kane,
Yeah.
man.
So let's shout out to Kane
watch
Fontecchio,
those
man,
matches,
doing
bro.
his thing, man.
Oh, that was
Alex and Waldo.
Yeah, Alex and Waldo. That was my favorite match, dude, because I love both. First of all, Waldo's my dog.
Well, let's not get too
Alex
far
is my
into
dog.
it because we were talking about it
and
last
let's go
versus
back
South.
to Enos, and let's
North
just start at
versus
the
South.
what?
Enos.
Let's just start with
Let's start with the
next
Enos.
match.
Zacatropes.
Because it's going to be a good match, man. But let's run them down.
I don't know what hand
Let's
it
run
is,
them
though.
down.
I don't know what hand Zach and Enos are pulling.
Well, they're just pulling.
Let's run them down,
So-
man. We got a lot of lists.
We don't know the
big list.
details exactly
Well, no, because
yet.
Zacatropes has another match with Don McClary.
Cool.
So that's why I'm wondering which hand is which. Because Don McClary, shout out to Don McClary, machine.
Oh,
Dude's, yeah, he does his thing, man.
yeah. He fights hard.
Yeah, dude, he's the Frankenstein of the pullers, dude. He's built of all different pieces and shit.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
him pull
yeah.
before, and man, I kind of was like, this guy's really strong, dude.
He actually taught you a lesson once.
Yeah, I was trying to get into that before you interrupted me, man.
I didn't.
But yeah, I seen
cut
him pull
off.
before, and then I finally got a chance to pull him not too long ago. And damn, dude, I want to say he surprised me. You know, I didn't underestimate him,
surprised you.
but also I thought I was prepared that
Surprised
day.
me. Surprised me.
Man, dude, he definitely taught me a lesson and kind of, lit that fire under my ass again.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily the Savage Armbender showed up, and my boy Jaden had to get that get back for me. You know what I mean? Get that get back for the team.
Yeah, boy.
But if I'm being honest, I know Don and Lino had that war right before, so I'm not gonna take too much credit about it.
No,
But
hell no. No, man. Jaden, you pulled
man.
pulled through the team, man, dog. You pulled for everybody else that took them L's.
hey,
And you did that. That's what comes with tournament pulling.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
Anthony John.
That's the weird thing with
Tournament
me when
pulling.
it comes to tournaments is like I don't know how to assess them properly.
I get it. It's hard because fucking what happened with Eric, dude.
Well, there is
We're just doing our thing, having a good time, and now you just get
Eric, you are getting better. You're getting a lot better, and it's exciting to watch. I'm having a great time watching it.
Oh, I
But,
love watching Eric pull.
but,
He's a
like, not
maniac.
to-
Eric the Linville.
Yeah,
the Anvil.
Not to take anything away from that.
The Anvil
there
dog.
was a story around that.
Oh,
But-
dude, for sure.
But you're getting
doing
better,
our thing.
Eric. Keep getting better. You're like I think if you keep working on it, you can excel better than you think.
Yeah,
But you
might
do
get
have
through
to
some.
put in, or think about putting just a little bit more muscle on, just so you can put in a lot more strength too. You can do really good. You got the limbs for it. But so we're talking about Don McCleary and Zacatropes, right?
Zacatropes. I don't know
Yeah,
which hand those are, but I can't wait to see. We're going.
Oh,
We're going. I don't know. I think Zach may or may not make it.
this is at North versus
Me
South?
and Jaden are going North versus South 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have a way better updated video the next time to explain the rundown, the recap of all the matches and stuff.
Well, hold on.
'Cause
Actually,
this is
you know
important,
what?
man?
We should have just talked about the teams matches first, because this is the, hosted by the Savage Armbenders. And one of our guys got a match, Kyle Souza. He's got a match with Devin Dodd. You've got a match.
Yeah, I got a match. I got a match because I need to pull that tournament.
I don't got a match.
what the
Jaden
overall
doesn't have a
is.
match.
No, I'm
but
just gonna be showing up.
still going to show some support, man. Always got to show support.
Yeah.
Show
But-
support, man.
Let's get into Kyle's match, man.
Yeah, let's go, Kyle. Devin Dodd. Rematch of North versus the LA tournament. That was California State. California
Yeah.
State and SoCal, and right there in LA. And honestly, dude, believe it or not, I think they only pulled left-handed, right?
Right.
Yeah, and Kyle put a spanking on it. Kind of pulled the rabbit out the hat.
He did. Well,
What arm, though?
That match was different. It was left arm, and we could get into it. For those who didn't see, they slipped, got into the straps. It was a nice little war, little tug of war. I think Kyle ended up banging it out, but eventually Kyle had to go through some battles and whatnot.
Well, also, he pulled the day before.
But yeah, I was trying to get into that. Like the day before, we did the open tournament.
Right.
So we pulled on Saturday, all studs. Carl Gerke was there. A bunch of the Armenian dudes.
Misick.
Yeah. So we got spanked and got up out of there. But the next day, Kyle decided to pull AMs too, and he also. We did after pulls.
Dude, first of all, we had like not an after party, but more so just a few pullers at the Airbnb, and we were up until like 4 o'clock, talking shit, arm wrestling, sipping as arm wrestlers do, and we're just cranking. It was 4 o'clock by the time we fell asleep.
So this
We
time,
woke up for the weigh-ins at 8 o'clock. We woke up for the tournament at 7 o'clock. We got a solid 3 hours of sleep.
That's rough.
So if Devin Dodd thinks, whatever, this is going to be a really fun match.
Kyle's
I
a
think
tough
it's going to be
fight.
closer
well,
than
I would
Devin
say
thinks.
let anybody think what they want to think. But guess what? This is going to be a dope opportunity to see these two strong dudes pull each other, fresh for fresh, right-handed. They never pulled right-handed.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good, dude.
Plus some
Devin
sleep.
Dodd's a big dude from Alpha Empire, you know. and
Devin Dodd's built like a pit bull, man. That
he's
dude's
pretty swole,
built like
dude.
he's got veins on his neck, dude.
I haven't seen any
You got veins on
pictures.
your neck, you know you're some.
I haven't seen any pictures on it. Well, I mean, Kyle's got that vein that goes across
Yeah,
his
Kyle's-
forehead into
Kyle's
his
been,
nose.
Dude, Kyle's got the.
turning it up, man.
So what weight are they pulling at? Because
So
I think a
it's
little
a
over
230
victim
class.
weight.
It's 230 class. That's what they're
they're
pulling.
pulling a 230. Why
Right,
is Kyle
but
cutting?
I think, well, Kyle's, you know, on his little health journey. You know what I mean? He's getting stronger and trying to cut.
Oh yeah, no,
trim
he's
a
feeling
little fat,
strong.
you
He's
know?
feeling strong.
I think density and strength means more sometimes than just.
Well, mass moves mass, but either way, like Kyle doesn't feel like he's lost
but if
any
you're
strength.
if you're freaking Brian Shaw and you mess with Todd Hutchings,
Yeah, but I mean, Todd also was kind of whipping Brian. But either way,
no, I'm saying though, density versus raw power and mass.
yeah.
Sometimes you could build that density
Yeah.
to beat that big mass. By
Well, one of the things with Kyle is he always had really, really good endurance, which didn't make sense.
whoa. That's for next week's.
Hey, stay tuned, man.
That's
North
for next
versus
week.
South
We can't
coming
give too
up.
much for Devin Dobb, dog. Yeah, he's got the Kyle the main vein Souza.
The main
You find
thing.
out if you want to, man. So we'll keep it. We'll keep that a little bit more,
All right,
in
all right.
depth.
We're gonna
But
get some-
Devin
So let's-
Dobb, Kyle
some
Souza,
footage.
So
Kyle
let's
the
go into
Spider
more
Souza
names
is going
then.
to be fire, dog.
So
Right off the list, man. Get into it.
Let's go with Munoz.
Oh, okay.
Your
So
boy,
we got
your dog.
Lorenzo Munoz versus Jose Goyo, the Caribbean Bull. Now, I was supposed to pull Lorenzo Munoz a while ago,
And Goyo.
and Goyo. I was actually supposed to pull both of them when I was about 20 pounds lighter. It
It was a real 200-pound,
Yeah.
198er. Zach was really a 198er at one
It never
point.
came to fruition, but
Then his
it
biceps
will
grew
eventually.
20 pounds each, and it's like, what the hell are we doing, dude?
But this is
He's
gonna be
like,
a good
I have to
match,
cut
This
man.
dude.
I can't wait. I like to see these guys pull. I mean, it's going to be an exciting match. Goyle's an intense puller. He just had that match with August in
Oh, that was
Slaughterhouse.
fire. That was
a good
fire.
match. But man, Lorenzo Munoz.
Also, with all due respect, dude, Zach put a beating on that guy.
I like watching Lorenzo.
yeah, I pulled Augie before.
Lorenzo-
I
That's
like
how I
watching
man.
both of them dudes.
Like I know people have their criticisms that he keeps doing those elbow fouls, but man, like
Wait,
It-
Lorenzo who? Lorenzo, you might have the different
Oh.
Lorenzo.
We're talking about.
I might have the different.
yeah, we're talking
Lorenzo.
We're
about-
talking about a
Alpha
tall,
Empire
different.
guy.
Yeah, SoCal
Oh.
Lorenzo, not
My bad, Lorenzo.
Yeah, not Lorenzo, the homie.
I don't know
Our
which arm they're
Lorenzo.
pulling.
What's his
I know Lorenzo is like. I'm pretty sure he's a little better left-handed, but
Yeah.
that might just be based off the rankings that we know. Like, you know, sometimes they could kind of throw
Tournament
you
pull
off a
is
little
different.
bit.
So
Yeah.
when you get a victory off a tournament pull,
because you never know.
which is not anything to take away from that puller, but if Lorenzo beats like Anderson off of random win, it's very good.
Well, it wasn't
Yeah,
random.
no.
It was, Anderson had a super match with Jamie Sheldon that year.
That's what I'm saying. So
like
I'm
a couple
saying
years
if you
ago.
if you pull, I mean it is what it is. You take what you want. But as a puller and a competitor, you know.
yeah, but
you
regardless, I'm excited to see the match. You know what I mean? I'm ready to see these guys pull. But let's get in.
I think
run 'em
Lorenzo's
down, man.
bigger than friggin' Caribbean Bull. Running
I
down
don't
what,
think
dude?
so.
I'm
I don't
going
think.
off of-
I think they're the same size. He might be taller
I've
than him.
met both of these guys.
He might be taller.
He's taller. Caribbean Bulls.
Yeah, but
Medium.
they're both the same weight, regardless. 205.
Oh yeah, is he 205? Is Caribbean's like
Yeah.
light right now?
He's
But
205.
yeah, for free. Hopefully.
205
we'll see when
class.
we pull up in the weight class. We'll see when they pull in the weight, and I'm there eyeballing them. Everyone, dude. I need to know these weights.
All right, so let's
go,
get on to the next match.
Let's go. Oh, Brendan Swell versus Richard Ringer. That should be fun.
Benny.
Benny Ringer. Yeah, Benny.
Uh-huh.
That should be fun.
Benny
Yeah, I
and
know
the
Benny.
Jets.
Benny's strong. He's a strong dude. I haven't seen him pull
I haven't seen him
recently.
pull- yeah, and
It's been a
wow,
little while.
that's why I'm really curious to see what he can do and what he will do.
Right, but I know Brandon Sewell. He's been pulling.
Yeah,
I don't know
Brendan
too much about
Sewell.
him personally, but he's
Sewell, whatever
looks
you want to
strong.
call him.
He had a good match with Zacatropes, actually. He had a really good match back and forth.
So what weight?
205.
Victim?
205?
Yeah, they're 205.
No, if you're over 200, you're not victim.
No, you're victim. Yeah, no, that should be really fun, man. That should be really, really fun. Because I don't know who would really win that match. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
Well, that's
if you
the
don't,
point, man.
yeah, if you don't know how it's gonna turn out, that's what makes a good match.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Benny Ringer, young puller in the sense of like experience wise. Brendan Swell, young puller as of age. The dude's like a kid, you know, very young. I don't know what's gonna happen. Nowhere to Run versus Alpha Empire. Let's go. We got Chuck DeJong versus Raymond Cody. I don't know if you guys know too much about these guys, but Raymond Cody's been putting a lot on social media, trying to pump his thing out.
Nice.
Also, he's 300 pounds trying to beat up on a 200-pound dude. And my dog, Chuck. You know Chuck, right?
Oh, I know Chuck, man.
We know Chuck,
dude.
man. Let's go,
Chuck's
Chuck.
a good guy, man.
Let's go, Chuck,
strong
man.
Dude. Strong dude.
Yeah. Raymond's cool. He got his own thing. He's got a bunch of people behind him and that whole
I would say, man, hey,
let's go, Chuck, dog.
Raymond, I don't know too much about you personally, but never underestimate.
Yeah,
your
never
opponent.
underestimate a dude.
And that's all I'm going to
100 pounds
say
smaller than
because
you.
Chuck is a strong dude, man. First time I pulled Chuck, man, you might think, oh, man, who is this older gentleman? You know, like, going to the table. Like, this dude looks like, no disrespect, but my grandpa, dude, you know? And you go to pull him, and you run into a brick wall. You're like, what
It's
the
the
hell?
Chuck I know, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah, no.
I pulled him. I'm like, dude, I'm not even moving this dude. And he looks like he's just head down, just pulling crazy. I'm like, man, all right, I guess I got to put some sauce on it, you know?
It's the thing that I've talked about when it comes to strength realizations or strength maturity.
Dude, he got that
'Cause-
grown man strength.
Yeah,
for sure.
because like you notice it in arm wrestling, you notice it in jiu-jitsu, especially when it comes to like isometric strength in a dynamic setting, is that once you hit like a certain age, all of a sudden your muscles just feel locked, like stupid locked.
That's what it felt like. It felt like I went to a lock.
where you have no idea where their give is until you've reached it. And while you're pulling them, it still feels like a steel cable.
Dude, when I pulled him, I don't even want to give too much away, but when I pulled him, nothing folded. His wrist didn't fold. Nothing. His whole arm was locked up, and I pulled his whole arm in the same position to the pad. There was no movement. I had to just force his whole body down. Mm-hmm. So
He's got that.
I haven't seen Raymond pull, so I'm not too sure about that, but should be good, man.
What do you think about that one?
What do I think or what do I know?
Both. Or
That's funny because I know little.
all right.
But what
then.
do I think? I think, what do I, man, let's go Chuck, dog. Let's go
Yeah.
Chuck, man. Raymond, you're dope ass dude, I guess. I see your Facebook. It's pretty cool. But Chuck, man, he's like friggin', he's doing his thing, dog. He's out there really doing these tournaments. I see him in Patterson. I see him in...
We see him all the
I
time.
see him in. I see him doing everything, and I'm
Yeah.
not saying
He's
Raymond.
more active than some of these young guys.
He's
out here, man.
way more active
Oh,
than
yeah.
a lot of these young cats.
Like every tournament, he's there.
Taking suit challenge matches, signing up for tournaments at not his weight class.
It's inspiring though too, because it's like,
I see him
damn,
in the
come
streets.
on,
I'm
man,
out.
he's
We're
killing
out here
it.
in the streets, man. The Pow Pows, the Savages are out in the streets. So we know what's going down in SoCal, NorCal. We're out here actually making trips, and I see Chuck DeJong doing his thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going. I don't
So
know.
we're not really making predictions. We're kind of just running through them. You know what I mean?
Shit, then if we're
That's
going
a good
through
point.
it, let's go with my two other matches that I really want to talk about before I got to get out of here, man. Let's talk about the one I really am looking forward to. Actually, one of the better matches out of East versus West. Austin,
North versus South.
North versus South, 3.
Yeah, I got
Austin-
confused for a
Yeah,
second.
my bad. Austin versus
Austin Fenley versus Mike Linder.
Austin Fenley versus Mike Linder, dude.
Yep.
I can't.
I love
I
watching.
want to
Austin
watch
pull.
this one.
Let's go.
I want to watch this one.
It's gonna be fire,
just
man.
as much as I would love to see Austin versus Will Klingman. But Mike,
for sure.
Mike is a little more. I think Mike could beat Will.
Well, personally, I'd rather see
know.
this match. I think because
the way they
Will
fight,
is really strong.
the way they
yeah,
fight.
the way Mike fights, Mike's a fighter, dude. And Austin, come on, man. California
Austin's a
State champ,
soldier,
left-handed,
dog.
185.
Is this left-handed?
I'm not sure, but either way, it's gonna be a banger.
I mean,
there's
like,
no specifics, but yeah, I
If
I
they're-
really can't wait to watch that match.
I mean, like, it would be. I mean, we've seen Austin get in his fights. We know he's a fighter.
Right.
We know he likes to fight.
What
So-
happened with he did something with Ricky Ramos last year?
I don't know.
Drop in the comments.
Personally, I don't know. I don't know.
I wasn't there, but I heard.
I heard of some, but honestly, it's all fun.
Yeah, you guys would have
Ricky
heard.
Ramos, man.
Even though at that
we
time,
messaged you, Double R.
even though at that time I was training with Austin, so I don't know.
So we're all training with Austin. Austin's back and forth everywhere,
No,
dude.
at
Austin's
that
doing
time
his
I was
thing,
still
man.
training at Sac County.
Last year?
Yeah. I only started training with you guys like around like July.
Oh man, I don't know. I remember when I first met you in Orangevale.
That was a
Then
while
we-
ago,
then
but
we
we
met
can
up.
get into that on another one.
Yeah, it's been
But-
about 2 or 3.
So, since we're finishing up, we do have a couple things to talk over. One of them,
We didn't go over the other match, man. I had one more match, dog.
that's my bed.
Yeah, we didn't even finish up. Who do you think will win, though?
We're not doing predictions.
Yeah,
We're
not
not doing predictions. I'll do a prediction. Let's go to the next match, man.
I mean, come on, it's gonna be too biased, man. We don't need to do predictions because NorCal's young with NorCal. That's all said.
Right.
But at the end of the
All right,
day,
you know
all
what?
these
Yeah, what's
matches
the last
are
one?
going
Let's
to be
talk
exciting.
about-
That's what we want to see, Cali versus Cali. I mean, come on, we're all a big state. We got to support each other.
Huge
at the end of the
state,
day,
man. Huge state.
So all
Yeah.
that funk and whatnot. Come on, man, bring it in.
Oh, exactly.
Bring it in for the last match. Well, actually, we got 2 matches. Actually, you almost forgot about 2 matches.
The funny thing
Two.
is, shout out to Robert Terry. I don't think he has the match this year.
What?
Yeah, come lo and behold, I think Paul Stevens said he's a little too sore.
Are you kidding me?
Did he say he was sore? Or did he say he was injured?
Well,
I
man,
might have heard
honestly,
he's a
that
little
is kind of an
sore.
upset.
He
man,
pulled in
'cause
Arizona that day. Remember, he pulled in Arizona.
I watched him pull. I watched the live stream. I watched the videos, and honestly, it's a little upsetting because I love watching Robert Terry pull, and I wanted to see that, man. So I guess we're just gonna have to skip over that. But shout out to the Terrys, and let's
So
move
what's the last
along
subject we're
with
getting
the
into, man?
the last match was Matt Brown,
Mike Brown, Jeff
Mike
Ray.
Brown, and Jeff Ray.
Mike Brown, Matt Brown, and Jeff Ray. No, yeah, let's go, Mike Brown, Jeff Ray. That one tops Austin versus.
Yeah, come on, we gotta
That
bring
one
that up
tops
before
it,
we end
dog.
this. Come on, man.
That
I mean,
one
his
tops it,
slaughterhouse
dog.
performance was very fun to watch.
Dude, him versus
Yeah.
Auguste Khan was stupid.
Yeah, he
Stupid.
made a goose con a goose that day.
A goose lawnmower. That dude got ran over for a bit. After the first 2 matches,
Yeah, but that was
Mike
one of the
Brown
most
did
exciting
it, boy.
matches.
That was my favorite match of Slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
A Goose Con versus Mike Brown. That was my favorite match.
That was a good one.
Besides Waldo versus Alex.
And then once you throw the Ripper in the mix, oh, come on, man. We're
Yeah.
talking about fireworks,
you
dog.
talking about the stripper?
Jeff
match?
Oh,
Ripper.
I know about that, man. Jeff the Ripper,
the
man. He's
Stripper
going
Ray.
crazy. We'll see, man.
Yeah,
Fireworks.
we'll see. We'll talk. Man, I'd like to talk a lot about this match, but I mean, I don't want to let too much out of it. But
Yeah. We're going to get
let's
some,
go,
you guys going
dude.
to get
This
some
is gonna be
footage, though,
fire.
man. We get some
it's
interviews
gonna be
and
fire,
stuff.
man. North versus South. We're gonna put a bunch of content out. A bunch of the Savage team is gonna be out there. We're gonna put a bunch of stuff out.
I don't know if it'll be a bunch, but we'll put content out.
A bunch.
Hopefully, it's a bunch. I hope it's a bunch, but we're still new at this. We can't guarantee too much.
That's facts, man.
But hey, man, drop in the comments. You know, let's talk about it, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
But I do have another thing to talk about. Where are you going? Okay, so I'll just talk with you at the moment. We have Mariusz Pudzianowski versus Eddie Hall.
Oh, come on.
And that's going to be on the same day as North versus South. I think that's going to be a very fun to watch because I know while I'm there, once the time hits, I'm going to be pulling it up on my phone if I'm being honest.
Two world's strongest men fighting.
I mean, it's called the World's Strongest Fight.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
What could you ask for more besides two world's strongest men fighting each other?
Right? Right? I mean, so what's going to be hard when it comes to that prediction is just you have Mariusz Pudzianowski, who's been fighting ever since he retired. And he's been fighting at KSL. It's a Polish promotion. And it's a very, very good promotion. But I personally think why it's good is I think they have steroids involved. And you get a lot of guys fighting extremely hard, longer than usual. And it's a tough prediction. We're talking about Mariusz versus Eddie.
Well, I'll give you my
There's a lot
quick
of
prediction.
There's a lot of steroids and macaroni. Also.
I got Eddie Hall first round knockout.
What do you got?
Is that what you think?
That's what I just said.
Frig, I don't know. You're putting the hardball on me, man. Do we know how many rounds this is going, or
It's going 5 rounds.
are you kidding me?
Yeah. I'm not kidding.
First of all,
It's their main event, so it's 5 rounds.
If I don't rapid fire, if Eddie Hall can't finish him by the second round, I don't know if I also don't know the age of Pudzianowski. So
48?
48.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go Pudzianowski. Yeah, let's go Pudzianowski. I think if Eddie Hall can't finish him within that second round, I'm thinking 4th round finish.
But
Obviously, if he can't finish him in that second round, yeah.
But I mean, come on. We're talking about Eddie Hall. We're not talking about Butterbean. He's not gonna just gas out in the second round, dude.
Well,
Why do you think
Butterbean
that? Why
wasn't
do you
an
think that?
MMA
Because
guy.
he beat up 2 midgets.
No, because he's
What?
he's fought.
Whoa,
He's-
hold up,
This
hold
is not
up.
his first fight. Like,
Hold up.
Eddie Hall.
No. You're
Yeah,
you're
it's not his
confusing
first
Eddie
fight.
Hall with Butterbean. You talking about Butterbean the boxer, right?
Right.
Right. No, Butterbean had good cardio. He didn't have good cardio well, for his size. He didn't have good cardio for MMA. You know, he could box a decent amount of rounds.
No. Butterbean could box 4 rounds.
That's
was
that's like
4 round
that's
good
half,
ones.
That's half the rounds. That's a decent amount of rounds.
And if we're talking about MMA,
That's
that's
not. I'm saying he was better in a 4 round fight.
right,
I'm not saying he could go full 4 rounds.
Are they doing 5-minute rounds?
yeah, no, it's an
Right,
MMA
okay.
fight, so it's
I mean,
not
he fought
it's not
half Thor Bornson. How many rounds was that?
That's
Oh,
boxing.
that was
Yeah, that's boxing. That
boxing.
also takes a lot more cardio.
I think that was
not than MMA because you're doing grappling. So no, you're wrong.
I could be wrong.
think
That was
if you're-
10
yeah.
rounds. I could be wrong,
No,
but I think that was 10 rounds.
it was probably 8. You don't. You
No,
can't do
no.
10
It was
rounds.
it was longer than the
They're not
average amateur.
professionals.
It was longer than the amateur. I do know that.
We'd have to go. We'd have to get in. I'm pretty sure it was 8. I don't even think it lasted that long though.
It didn't last that long,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty
Right,
sure
but
it
do
was
they
put the
longer.
ball-
Do we even think it's
popular.
going to the ground? Do we think they're even
I do because
grappling? You
yeah,
think
hell
so?
yeah, for
I think
sure.
it's possible.
Is
Pudzianowski
Pudzianowski a
isn't
wrestler?
going to go out his way and
Yeah.
stand up and
Is
be a
he?
grappler.
Pudzianowski-
Or be a fighter.
Yeah.
Fighter.
Pudzianowski's a ground and pound guy.
Yeah. He's going to work his way into the mix. Work his way. Probably get into a clinch of somehow up against the cage. Press him up there. Try to work his way down. There's no single or double leg that Pudzianowski's going to do to Eddie Hall. So what is going to happen is they're going to get in a mix, a scuffle.
A clinch.
Somebody's going to get into a clinch after the scuffle, in the mix-up. And then somebody's going to push somebody up against the cage like big gorillas do. They're world's strongest men. There's no finesse like this. There's no finesse between Eddie Hall.
Well, even though
Pudzianowski.
even though Mariusz has one of the most impressive cardios of a man that size, like he's essentially like a if we talk about a UFC reference, he's similar to Marab when it comes to strength endurance.
Strength.
Strength endurance, because that guy can just kind of keep cooking.
Yeah.
But-
Strength-wise, 100%. Fighting wise, no.
No,
He's not that guy.
Well, honestly, it's not too dissimilar.
Well, it's
I mean,
different.
like,
if you
I
put him
like-
versus Cain Velasquez,
Well-
Cain Velasquez is going to run his asshole into the earth, and then he's not going
I
to be able to
didn't-
breathe out of any hole of his.
I didn't give the reference to Cain Velasquez.
But I'm saying in this, like this.
Fighting Kane Velasquez.
I
But I'm
gave-
saying when we're doing
I gave
MMA top quality versus powerlifting
Well, I gave-
top quality, he was very. He
Hey,
could lift
free
a
Cain
better
Velasquez.
chain.
Here,
Yeah, free Cain Velasquez,
I
dog.
gave the
Free Cain
reference to Marab because Marab doesn't like suffocate people like Kane does. He just kind of constantly shoots. But
That's disrespect.
how Marius fights, because I've seen his fights, is he comes in with with like a flurry like Yoel Romero does, and then he'll snag your legs and sweep you super fast. He'll get in those
But
clenches
that's
too, but
because
he
he's so
likes those.
strong. He never fought like good
But now-
fighters. He fought Bob Sapp.
Yeah.
He never fought like quality fighters that could stop a single leg or a double leg.
He
Like
fought
Eddie
like
Hall.
KSL quality, you know.
KSL's assholes.
But
I'm sorry to say KSL
but my point being is that I don't know if his endurance is really going to last against somebody who's stronger than
and younger. Yeah, I agree. Because
Yeah,
once you get
and-
into a clinch, but also I don't know until it happens. Because these guys are so unproven, it's very hard to give a good assessment of what I think is going to happen because I haven't seen enough rounds in between any of these guys. Except for Pudzianowski, but Pudzianowski isn't fighting. Pudzianowski's, you said, 48, fighting the Eddie Hall, which is like
Yeah.
40 something.
Dude, I remember watching
He's a murderer.
Pudzianowski when we were kids. We were
Oh,
kids
yeah.
watching World's Strongest Men.
Yeah.
And, dude, I don't remember how young I was, but I remember watching him on the screen like, damn, this dude's so strong.
You were
doing
probably
all this
around
crazy-
10 years old.
Maybe even
So
younger,
what are we
dude.
doing?
Yeah.
Are we betting? We
Maybe
betting
even
like
younger.
fucking 20 bucks, 100
But
bucks, 50
fast
bucks?
forward 20 years
I'm
later,
betting-
dude. and
I'm
he's
betting
fighting
Eddie
still.
52, 48 Pudzianowski. I think Eddie has the best shot.
Eddie has a better shot.
Just because
Ask.
his right bicep is healed, he can connect that right hand a lot better. He's faster than people think when it comes to shooting that shot.
So what are we doing? You guys
I got
got Eddie
Eddie
Hall?
money.
You got Eddie Hall?
I got Eddie Hall. I think Eddie
So
Hall.
I bet Pudzianowski wins. I'll bet double or nothing. Let's do 50 push-ups. Let's do 50 push-ups.
Out of my own curiosity, I'm betting Eddie Hall near the end of the first round knockout. I'm thinking if it does not happen that way, it's going to be Mariusz Pudzianowski round 4, halfway through ground and pound. That's what I'm thinking.
So for
But
Crowd.
Eddie Hall is my bet.
that way we get the video of the loser. You guys got Eddie Hall?
I got Eddie Hall.
Are we doing double or nothing right now?
Well, I mean, it's a 2
can't do
to
double or
1.
nothing.
50 push-ups?
It's
Or
a
I'm
2 to
sorry, we'll
1.
do 2 to 1. 2 to 1.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll do on push-ups. We don't got to drop no money.
I don't mind dropping money, but whatever.
Yeah, but video, you could watch somebody hurt more.
Sure. Or
If
we
I
could do
and if I
video
could
of
watch
me
you guys, if
passing
I could
money.
watch you guys do 100 push-ups, because I think Pudzianowski will win. I'd rather the crowd. I'd rather California and all of America watch you guys do some push-ups
All right.
and hurt. I'm talking without stopping though.
All right. So, with that being said,
We didn't shake on it, man. We didn't shake on the bet though. Are we good?
I'll shake on it. Let's go.
If I lose, I'll do 100.
All right.
If you lose,
That's funny.
Oh,
we
wait,
do,
no,
we
wait.
do like 50, right?
is that yeah? Okay, yeah, 50 consistent. I'll do the
No,
100.
no. I think it would go that you would do 50 and we would do 100.
Oh, I'm
Because
cool with
we're
that.
on
I'm
the-
cool with that. Yeah,
we're
let's
on
do that
the-
one.
Or we're
Over under. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
So these guys owe me 100 push-ups. Next time you guys see some more content, these guys are going to be doing a bunch
We'll
of
see about
push-ups.
that, man. I do 100 push-ups like nothing.
This guy also weighs 170 pounds, dude. This is bullcrap.
I'll have a tough time with it. But either way, all right, USABs, we're gonna wrap it up. It was a slightly messier podcast, but you know we had a couple things that we're working with. It's new audio equipment, new visual equipment, or video equipment, and I hope that it turns out better for you guys. I know that we were probably getting a little bit lost, but that was because it was getting broken up a little bit often, and that's on our end. But the next one for sure is going to be better.
We're rifters
So,
too, man. It's
Yeah,
a freestyle, dude. I hope you guys can appreciate. This is 3 friends, and 3 just hungry competitors.
yeah.
Also, we're also, we do a lot of crap talking, but also we love this.
Yeah.
We want to inform you guys. We want to keep you guys up to basis. We want to do something that we want in California.
Yeah.
And all across the country, you know what I mean? Every state to inform everybody what's going down, the next information. Hey, what's going on next week? Because there's so much going down every time, you know what I mean? There's so much information, and we just want to flood it and pump it all into one.
Make it a quick listen that you can do while you're working, while you're moving, or even if you're just sitting at
Taking a
home and want
cruise.
something to just listen and watch to.
Working out.
You working
out.
Yeah, you work. You got your headphones in. Just
Yeah.
listen to the ooses, man.
Yeah.
Yee.
And I promise you that the one we did that we screwed up on was actually way more cleaner. It just didn't have as good of equipment, so
It was cool, man. That was good. But this one's good. The next one's gonna be fire.
yeah, we'll do better
Stay
on the
tuned,
next
man.
one for
Stay
sure.
tuned.
So thank you for sticking with us, and I hope you have a great day. Train hard,
Like and
rest
subscribe,
or eat-
man.
Yeah, train hard, eat well, and rest easy.
The more follows you give us, the more haircuts and beard trimmings we could afford, man. Thank you, guys.
Comment down below.